Voyeur from Interplay and Philips is not a new product. It was one of the first releases available for the CDI system back in early '94, but it's only now being made available for the PC.
And if you're hoping that it has somehow become less lame in the past year, I'm afraid the answer is no.
You play, well, you don't really know who you play, except that you're across the street from the house of potential presidential candidate Reed Hawke. You must be working for somebody, but the designers of the game didn't care enough to tell you who.
Hey, why should you worry about that? All you need to know is that Reed Hawke is a major sleazoid and he's going to kill a member of his family this weekend. If you don't capture evidence on your video camera, he'll not only get away with the crime, but he may end up as President of the United States.
Hawke is played by television veteran Robert Culp, so an administration under this jerk might not seem like such a bad idea if he used to be a fan of I Spy or The Greatest American Hero.
That's his sister, played by Grace Zabriskie, who used to be the late Laura Palmer's mom on Twin Peaks. She's no stranger to melodramatic overacting, and here she really plays to her strengths, being weird, creepy, and chronically depressed.
This is the apartment you've been set up in to catch the all-important evidence. You have a television which only receives broadcast signals once, so you can get some background on the Hawks and so you can be exposed to this woman. Sadly, she doesn't even stand a chance of being murdered in this game. Where's the justice?
If you capture some incriminating evidence on tape, you can call the police, and they'll send this happy character to check your story. If you actually figured out who's going to be killed before it happens, you can send your videotape to the endangered party and they'll go to the cops.
And this is your all-important camcorder. What a strange device it is. On the one hand, it's incredibly powerful. Not only can you look into windows and hear the conversations with crystal clarity, but you can examine files on desks across the street and even turn the pages. At one point, I overheard one of the characters thinking. Really?
Yeah, it's like one of those AT&T commercials. Ever eavesdropped on a neighbor's most intimate musings? You will! But this great camera also runs entirely on battery power, despite the fact that you're in an apartment, which presumably has outlets in the wall. You apparently only have one battery, too. It runs for about 5 minutes, then can take anywhere from half an hour to 4 hours to recharge.
As you observe your famous neighbors, you choose between video clips, audio clips, or just looking at the stuff in empty rooms.
There's different stuff going on in different rooms at the same time. To win the game, you need to be looking in the right place at the right time. And if you happen to be watching a sexual encounter in the making, hey, everybody wins.
While we're on the subject of sex, this is perhaps one of the most misleading things about this game. The advertisements surrounding this game are even more provocative than those for Noctropolis. The game even opens with a special security screen so you can keep the kids from playing.
But Voyeur barely has anything in it that isn't allowed on network TV these days, with the occasional 4-letter word as an exception. There's lots and lots of underwear and innuendo, but if you're expecting something beyond the PG-13 range, you're going to be really disappointed when the camera discreetly turns itself off at the juiciest moments.
Let's face it, all these problems were already there when Voyeur was first released. It's just as much a tease now as it was then. Only now, games like Under a Killing Moon and the Daedalus Encounter have come out, showing up the video here for the pixelated, blocky mess that it is.
This seems to be characteristic of the CDI titles that are being transferred to PC. They were no great shakes on their original platform, but then there was no competition. Why would anyone deliberately choose to play Voyeur over all the far better PC titles out there?
Because they hope to see some nipples. Sad but true. Folks, the only nipples here are male, and those are few.